Hello there, and welcome back to the Disc Connected. And hopefully, I can get this right twice. We are here live with Laurent Ohmansiek, and he
Yes.
is from Wicked Vision in Germany, and they are the creators of, in my opinion, some of the greatest media releases literally in the world. I'm a huge fan of media books, and theirs are top notch. Laurent, thanks for coming on with me today.
Thank you very much, Ryan, for having me here on your show. And thank you so much that you had so kind words for our media books. Really, I appreciate it very much.
Lovely, genuinely. I don't think there's anything like this happening in the United States. In other parts of Europe, they're really not very popular, and then elsewhere they just go overlooked. And the art is just impeccable. And you guys are amazing, top of your game all the time. So I know that you don't get a lot of global recognition. So thank you so very much.
And thank you that you give us a chance to talk about it globally, overseas, with our media books. So
of course, I've got quite a few friends that I mentioned that I was going to be speaking with somebody from them, and they said, "No, you're not." They didn't believe that I was going to be able to talk to somebody like Wicked Vision. So this is amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, we are dudes like you. You know, we are not. We don't wear suits. We are not in any high towers. You can talk with us anytime. So.
So first of all, Germany. How does it? I don't understand how it seems like the physical media community in Germany is so robust compared to other parts of the world. I mean, you get 5 or 7 cover options on some of these films that are getting released. They sell out like hotcakes. How do you guys do it?
It's crazy. I guess it has to do something with the German culture, because as some of you know, all the movies which came in Germany were dubbed. So we have an own synchronization, own dubbing, and therefore we appreciate some movies with German speakers. So it is in our mind, this movie is good because this person is speaking. You know, we like the voice of Arnie and Sylvester Stallone. In Germany, it's the same voice. So
that makes sense.
This is one point. And the other point is we have the same history like Great Britain. They had the video nasties, and we had banned movies too. So many movies were banned here in Germany. There was a law called Paragraph 131, and it's a glorification of violence. And therefore, many movies in the 80s were like, "Ooh, this is bad. We should ban it." So all the Italian zombie movies were banned. All the, what can we say? Brain Dead, obviously, from Peter Jackson is banned. Still banned today. And Friday the 13th was banned. Part 3 and Part 4, which is mind-blowing. I mean, it's for teenagers, right? So why they ban it? Because of teens? I don't know. But therefore, many people back in the 80s and 90s went over to Austria, Belgium, Netherlands to collect those movies. And now we have a market where we can say, oh, right, we can make it with the German dubbing. We can release it in Austria because they speak German too.
Right.
And you can get all the cover artworks, which movie posters, like the German artwork, new artworks, or American original artworks. And they are collectors. So they want to have these movies, and they pay high prices. So they are really freaky. But it's obviously Wicked Vision is not one of the companies who sell them for a high price, because we don't have money, so we can't say to other people, "Hey, give me all your money." You know,
right?
We're on the same boat.
There are some of these releases from over there that are getting these massive editions. Like there's a Last House on the Left release. I think that just came from Germany, and it's like 7 or 8 discs, and it's going for like $100+ in the US, which is crazy. Like, most releases don't come anywhere near that price. It is wild what they're putting into some of those releases over there.
Oh yeah. We have crazy. I can show you which came recently out from.
Yeah, by all means, sure.
We adore here in Germany, which is really crazy. It's like the complete series of He-Man on Blu-ray, with so many fucking discs and posters and art cards and comics and books, and I don't know. We are crazy here.
You have no idea how much that is going to piss some people off here. I have people literally every single day messaging me trying to find out how to get a copy of that because how do you say the company's name that put it out? Is it Plyon or Playon?
Play on, play on. Before it was Koch, but Americans say Koch, and I think they don't like it.
Oh, I didn't. Okay,
Ah,
I didn't know they
no,
were
it's a joke.
related.
It's a joke that we make here in Germany. So
Yeah, of course. I didn't know they were related to Coke. That's interesting. Okay.
yeah, before they were Koch, and now they are Play on. So they changed the name.
Their site is not allowing for shipments to the U.S. on that release, at least. So a lot of people here are trying to get a hold of it, and we have a couple retailers that deal with the distributors over there, and they don't seem to have an answer on if they're even going to be able to get it yet. So it's an interesting one because people are dying to see it. I posted that announcement, and people went crazy over it.
Okay, I have to talk with some people. I think America should get this box right.
So. Yeah, it looks legendary. It looks like one of the best releases in animation history, at least, ever.
Yeah, even me, I'm a hardcore fan now. So 20 years later, again.
Nice. It looks way bigger than I expected too. It looks like a giant cereal box almost. For those that don't know, this is a media book, and this is one of my favorites from Wicked Vision. This is Reform School Girls, and as you can see, the back is in German, and then on the inside, we've got a disc in the front, a disc in the back, but the real love is shown between the pages here. This is like the special sauce. Every single release gets a booklet, and a lot of people shy away from them because they're in German. However, we all carry around a smartphone, and all of our smartphones, you can get Google Lens and hold it up, and it'll self-translate on the fly so that you can read the entire booklet. And I don't know how many Wicked Vision media books I've read through that way.
Oh, all right. I had the idea before because you showed Reform Schoolgirls, which I have, by the way, also here on the table. Which is how that happened. But yeah, the last part in it is English. So it's one of the few booklets where we have both languages. I guess we did it only because the people who were interviewed can read themselves. I don't know. Maybe that was the reason. But I thought about it. Why shouldn't we make some PDFs in English, which we can send to the Americans?
Smart.
So, I mean, we have the text already in German, so we can translate it to English, right?
Yeah, that would help a lot, I'm sure. Interesting. I know that there are some of the in fact, I again did not plan this, but I happen to have one standing by. Some of the super premium releases, like this one came from either South Korea or China, something like that. A lot of their booklets, they have it in whatever Japanese, Chinese, Mandarin, whatever they're using on the front, and then English in the back because they know this is going fairly global. And I would love to see some media books like that, but also just to be able to download it from your site would be perfect.
I have to think about it because it's maybe it's smart right now, and that you told me that you'll read it because we didn't thought that any American would read our German media books. So.
Well, I got a handful of friends that some of these releases they're collecting every single cover, and it's worth it. The art alone, they are gorgeous. And if you're gonna have behind you have a wonderful display of just the things that you're a big fan of, and some of these people they proudly display the art on some of these books. And if you've got a movie that you love and you've got 3 covers, you might want to display it. So it's nice to have the option.
Oh. Thank you, by the way, and first of all for mentioning that. And yeah, you mentioned it right, or you saw it right. I think it's inspirational, and we love to have some good artwork on the wall or on the shelf. And for us, it's important that we can show great artworks. So that's the reason why we choose some artists who make new artworks,
right?
Because. You know by yourself, when you see a great picture, I like all the Mondo posters which came out in the recent years. It's something that's mostly, most of the times, better than the original artwork.
Oh yeah.
So it makes sense that we put them onto a cover, and also we have not that huge output because got mostly 1,500 copies, which is in Germany a huge lot,
Right.
much. But I guess in the US it's not so much.
It
Because
depends. Some labels are only doing about that much.
yeah, too
Yeah.
in America, because
Yeah.
America is huge, man. I
Yeah,
thought,
but the collectors community, it's not as big. A lot of people here, obviously, a lot of the stereotypes about Americans are true, and the convenience plays a big factor, like with streaming. So we've lost a lot of physical media fans over the years just to convenience. So
damn.
unfortunately, those that are buying these and really holding on to them and keeping it alive, it gets difficult because when you're only conversing with those in the community, it feels like everybody must love this sort of thing. But in all
Yeah.
reality, it's a very small percentage still.
Yeah, reality is something that often kicks me hard when I wake up in the morning and see, oh damn. But yeah, because of those artists, we want to push some artists that they get recognized and known because they make great artworks. And also, I would love to have, when I get 1,500 copies, I think it's boring to have 1,500 copies with one cover artwork when there are so many existing. And oftentimes we have the problem that there are even more than one cover, which is great, which we had last time with The Man Who Laughs, where we made 5 covers because we're crazy. I don't know why we did it. But otherwise, we put them in the booklet,
Right.
the artworks. So therefore, people can appreciate it and say, you dickheads, you know, we love the Japanese cover and you did it. And often I say, well, open up your fucking media book, wrap it out, and look.
You got to read it, and then you'll discover it. Yeah,
yeah.
Most
of the people let it mint condition, put it in a shelf with all the foil around, and I don't get it. I don't get it. You buy this shitty thing to watch it, not to put it on your shelf.
So we were talking beforehand, and one of the things I want to talk about, you actually brought up a perfect thing that we should discuss first, is the banned movies, because a lot of people are associated with the very famous laws. So we have the UK video nasties, obviously, like you brought up. We've got some of the weird US laws. Like, it seems like in the US, they've pretty much always been okay with violence, but then anything sexual, they're like, oh God, we can't possibly show that. So it's
they're like
backwards.
Me, more like me.
With the German laws, how much are they relaxing over the years? How do you feel like that's been changing?
Oh, they are relaxing a lot, because they had a new system inside. In the past, there was one person who said, "This is bad. This is bad. This is bad." Everything was bad. You know, even Tom and Jerry was bad, it seems like. And now they have different people who recognize, oh, well, maybe Friday the 13th is a movie for teenagers. Let's rate it 16 so teenagers can watch it.
If only.
You know? And this is happening right now. And also this month, Wicked Vision made history because since 1975, the movie Salo, 120 Days of Sodom, was not banned, but I don't know the English term. It's called Index, which means you can buy it when you are 18, but you cannot buy it in any store. You have to buy it.
So how do you?
Yeah, you can buy it when you go online and buy it over Austria or over Netherlands. Or if you have a store, he can't show it on a shelf. You have to ask him, and then he get you in another room.
So it gets treated like pornography.
That you are 18 years old, and then he can, like you were buying porn or stuff.
Right. You know? Wow. That's crazy.
And that was since 1975. And all the years is said when people try to release this movie or make it free so everybody can buy it, they say, no way. 120 Days of Sodom is the most violent and movie which is against humanity. You know, it's really bad. And this year I wrote a huge letter. I analyzed their analysis. So they made many mistakes and I corrected them. And now the movie is free.
Wow. Congratulations. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it was. It was. I mean, it was like the end boss from a video game, which he fought, and he wins. So next time, Mortal Kombat 4, right?
Wow. I mean, you literally affected like cinematic history for an entire nation. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, thank
That's
you. Thank you. It was. And the funny thing is, I'm one of the persons who don't like the movie. I like the way history is told in the movie, and
right.
the critics against fascism is also very important and awesome, which Pasolini did was awesome. I have to admit it, but it's one of the movies I don't watch again. So
Yeah, and that makes sense. For those that have seen the movie, they'll understand that. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it was an important piece of protesting cinema. It was something that was needed there to get people to see uh basically the atrocities. And
yeah.
when we discuss it and change the course of history, that sometimes that happens through art, and it's important. And now you've affected a small chain in that. And that's incredible, man. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much. I think it's more important now than it was 10 years ago because of the fascism parties in Italy now. So
Yeah.
maybe they are smart and thought, oh, well, it's history. We should talk about it.
That would be a novel idea, yeah. So with the relaxing laws, one of the things to discuss is a lot of people shy away from German releases because it seems like there's a lot of piracy in the industry. And
Oh,
I've,
there is.
I've tried to warn people, it's not just Germany. Brazil has seen a lot of it. Spain has seen a lot of it. And when we say piracy, they're not necessarily copying discs, but they're releasing full movies on a disc without the permission of the rights holders, right?
Right. Because in Germany, companies like us, we have Turbine Media, we have Plyon Pictures, we have Wicked Vision, and many more, Anolis. And we have problems to get licenses from huge companies like Warner Bros.
Right.
They don't do sub licenses, they only do repackaging. So if there's a media book in Germany with the Warner Bros. Logo, you can guess it, it's a repack. So you can buy it for €5 or you can buy it for €35 in a media book. That's your decision. But a lot of those titles from Warner Bros., let's say like Out of Justice with Steven Seagal. It's a great movie. I like it. It's entertaining, but it never seen the day of light here in Germany as a Blu-ray. So there is no official Blu-ray here. And there are many bootleggers out here, which there are places where they do on weekends like a flea market with movies, movie market.
Yeah.
And then you see on their table, okay, Out of for Justice as a Blu-ray from Spain with German audio, which let you guess, okay, that's doesn't make any sense, but it's there. And then you can guess it, okay, it's a bootleg. Why is this bootleg there? Because people want to see it, which sucks because we are some companies who pay licenses to bring official released movies from MGM or Universal. And so therefore we have a huge problem with bootlegs here, which is house-made, because we can do something against it, but like companies like Warner won't release anything which is older than, I guess, 1980.
Yikes. And a lot of people, they don't really think about the fact that actually is going to have an impact on a company like you, because Warner Brothers could potentially consider it. But at the same time, if people aren't genuinely asking for releases because they're able to come across them for, £3 or £4 on the streets, why would they ask for Warner Brothers to put it out if they can get it so cheap? So
right. And most
it is
people
something to
didn't
watch
know.
out for.
So most people didn't know. That's a problem too, because most people don't talk about this topic officially. So I'm glad that you're talking about it, because that was one of the important points in Wicked Vision history, that we release all the full moon movies with Charles Band.
Wow.
Because Charles Band recognized, oh my God, overseas in Germany, Austria, and Belgium, they release my movies and I didn't give any license. So they're officially bootlegs. So what can we do about it? And my boss, Daniel, said, all right, so we can cooperate. We make Full Moon Germany for you. and then we have official licenses, and there are no bootlegs. Because
awesome.
if another company releases the same movie as a bootleg, yeah, we can go to court, right?
Right.
So
Is that
they are more afraid.
obviously not to get into details, but is that something that you've had to do multiple times?
We didn't have to go to court, but in Germany, oftentimes it's enough when we say, "Hey, guys, we have the rights." I would
Good.
watch out if I were you, and suddenly they came, "Oh, no, we didn't want to do it. It's okay. It's fine. We just post it on our Facebook because we like the cover." Ooh.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's been at least a couple times that a company has announced something, and usually it's never a big company like Wicked Vision or anything like that, but it's a very small company that's usually doing something like media books, and they'll come out and post something and say, "Hey, we have this coming out next year." I've even seen where the labels here in the US have said, "Well, we have worldwide rights. You're not putting that out," and then the company still puts it out.
Yeah. I guess I know which company you are talking about. We have problems with them too. Is it called Mediax?
That might be one, yeah.
Yeah. They often have the problems. They even had problems with us because they told on Facebook that they were releasing a tourist trap, which is a lie, which is obviously from Charles Band, and
Right.
we have the rights for it, so we release it. And I don't know which games they are playing, but they do it with so many labels and so many movies.
Yes.
I get in trouble if I say that they were criminals or corrupt, but let me guess how I can say it without getting in trouble. I heard some people say they were corrupt or illegal. I don't know. That's the internet rumors.
This is amazing. I appreciate the fact that Wicked Vision and a few others, it's certainly not just Wicked Vision, but many companies in Europe are sticking to their guns and trying to make sure that they have everything ironed out, the rights are there. There's also the fact that you guys are using a lot of great contributors to do some special features on stuff. And one of the things that you and I were talking about is how many people just don't give the time of day to that. So again, thank you. Special features are an art form in themselves. The fact that your discs don't come with just the film and nothing else is a huge boon for these releases. The writing in the book is always important, and I think more people need to give time of day to that. So, what is something that you enjoy about special features?
Oh, I enjoy. By the way, first of all, I have to correct myself, because Mediax do have some rights. Not everything is illegal. So
Right.
to correct this one. Now back to your question. What I enjoy on special features. Well, in the last 2 years that I'm working with Wicked Vision, I obviously edit all the interviews
Right.
which are on the disc. And I enjoy it very much, the interviews or some of the making of stuff, because I studied film before. I was a director of photography and videographer, freelance.
Nice.
And I learned a lot from those special features. People don't recognize, but you can go to a college, you can go to school. The only way you really learn is do it yourself, or listen to people who done it. And the only way to listen to people who done it is when you go to, I don't know, when they have a speech and talking, or you see it on Blu-ray and DVD on the special features, or audio commentary. That's the only way you can learn.
Well said. That is beyond true. Some of these releases that we've seen throughout the world, they are, people complain that they're $30, but some of the information that's given in these special features, it's legitimately like film school. And the fact that some people are paying thousands of dollars a year to hear the same sort of information, it is crazy that it is basically archiving the entire art form on these discs. So I think that was a very, very good point there.
Yeah, it's a funny story here. I watched an old Italian movie, and there's a scene which my boss Daniel always says it's one of the funniest stories. A person is going down in the cellar, and he's going from red light to blue light. I don't know which movie it was, maybe Bava or something. And there's an audio commentary from a film study professor who tells, yeah, he's going down the steps and now he's entering the dark zone and now everything is getting misty and mysterious. And then you hear the audio commentary from the camera guy who told, damn, this fucking light. We had red lights, the bulb explode, so we had to use the blue light. And everyone who's making movies by himself or even had the passion for making movies or fun stuff always struggles with, how can I do it without so many money? And
Right.
what if I do a mistake? And believe me, all the movies you see, they are full of mistakes and always had some troubles with money and that stuff, but they found a solution, and always you get the solutions from those audio commentaries.
Exactly. And the crazy thing, talking on that, I just showed it earlier. We all have this tool. We can all make legitimately like higher quality films than they could even 20 years ago with some of those cameras. So it's amazing what people can accomplish nowadays.
Of course, but you have to want it. It's completely willpower.
That's true. Very, very true. So Laurent, your background, how did you get into film? Like, why are you doing this?
Oh, that's a good question. My parents asked me the question too, since 34 years now. How did I get to film? Yeah, well, I can blame my mother for films, because she went with me every Sunday into the cinema.
Oh,
and I watched all the stuff from Turtles to He-Man to Batman, obviously.
Of course.
And I had therefore a passion for movies also. And when I was 14, I got my first camera, handheld camera, which was a shitty camera, but I did movies with friends, which were okay. They're not Evil Dead, but they were okay. And out of this grows a passion. So I started for a local TV station, made music videos, commercials and stuff. And then I thought, well, maybe what can I do with my life? Well, I study. And the rules of studying, when you go to college or university, always 6 semesters. For me, it was 6 Sylvesters. I didn't understand correctly what they told me before. But then I come into these movies, and I worked beforehand by Tour by Media. I was working there 1 year. Then I left Tour by Media because I thought, maybe I'm not good in this. I not have a specialty in product management for movies. And then I'm in it's called Secret Film Club here in Germany, Bouillon Omega. They always show 35mm stuff. And my boss Daniel is going there too, to this secret film club, which is not so secret. It's only called secret, but everybody can go there.
Right.
And he told me that he needs somebody who can edit videos or shoot videos for interviews. And I said, okay, I do it. And I said to him, how many people do you have in your company? And he said, I'm alone.
Wow.
And he did all the things before me, before 2020, all the media books he was doing alone with only friends who helped him out. Yeah. And then we were 2. Now we are 3. So we are growing, I guess.
Growing is good. Growing is a good thing.
Yeah.
So what all do you find yourself doing for Wicked Vision now?
My task for Wicked Vision, it expanded. It was before it was doing only editing for interviews. Now it's managing interviews in the US or in England. I have to stay up all night and call people, which is annoying for me. Don't much sleep because I have a normal regular work at next day too. So
right.
What else do? I do the product management with Daniel together. So we search the artworks and discuss how it will look, how the DVD looks, what extras do we get on this disc? Do we buy extras or license them from the US, or do we do new ones? This is a huge task for me. And also subtitles.
Nice.
Which is
it's probably very tedious.
Oh, it can be boring.
Yeah,
it can be very boring, but also very funny because most German. I'm not the typical German. Okay, so most German don't speak English in any kind. I do, but
You're doing very well, by the way.
oh, thank you so much. But you're lying. But I think I did it once or twice that we make funny subtitles which aren't correctly translated, but nobody found it, nobody guessed. So I think it's funny for me. It's if I see them and somebody said in the background, "Hey, Laurent, get over here," and he never said it, but people read it.
That brings up an interesting question. I'm curious because one of the things I've been trying to do for some of these US labels when I talk to them is not necessarily on camera, so I'm putting you on the spot a little bit. But afterwards, when we're just hanging out and right before we go for the day, asking them how come all these special features we don't get subtitles on these as well. Do you feel like it is an extensive cost or something that would be so cumbersome that makes it impossible?
I think it's a cost thing because, as I told you, we are only 3 people, right?
Right.
So Daniel has nobody else to blame than me if something's not happening because
Yeah.
the third guy, Patrick, who's working for us, is only packaging and sending the stuff, which we do by ourselves always, which is crazy. Normally, you have a huge company who did this for you, but we do it ourselves. So, yeah, DIY. But what was the point with the subtitles? Yeah, it's a cost factor because it takes so much time to do this subtitles correctly. You have to write them, read them, and when you have more than one movie on a disc with special features, it can take 1 or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If you have them finally ready. And therefore, I guess most of the people say, fuck it, we release it.
Yeah. Sadly, and unfortunately that, we were just talking about how important those extra features are. There's a lot of people that rely on those subtitles to be able to either hear, portions of it because they're either hard of hearing or they're fully deaf, or they speak a different language or what have you. But I'm really trying to advocate for the accessibility, and that knowledge is something that could apply to anybody that's wanting to envelop themselves in that art. So hopefully someday maybe we can find some sort of easier way to get it done, because in all reality, even a company like Wicked Vision, you could probably put somebody full-time doing that as their job if they were doing all of the special features for all of your releases. That would take a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I get more time if we got somebody who do it, but I can tell you there's no idiot out there who would do it other than me. So
there's a lot of data entry, and then of course the timing of it with what's happening on the movie. That's probably the most monotonous part of it.
Yeah, I hate movies where they have really much dialogue like Quentin Tarantino. I always hate those movies, so I stick around with the action movies. I like them because you don't need to write boom, bang, boom. It's okay. You can see it.
The subtitle could just say like pounding noise or something.
Yeah, hitting him hard.
That's great. So Wicked Vision, how do I even phrase this? Obviously you're not the one creating the product itself, but because you're curating something that is like the flavor for an entire country, that's obviously it's going worldwide to a lot of people. What releases that you've been a part of do you feel like you're most proud of?
I'm most proud of yeah, I can show you 2 which I'm
by all means, please.
Proud of. Which is...
And as he's looking, I will say, if you are in the US, some good places to keep an eye on these media books is Orbit DVD or Diabolic DVD, and other countries, like especially in Europe, you can get them for Wicked Vision for a lot cheaper than we can get them in the US, because shipping charges are not nearly as exorbitant.
No. You're right. I'm very proud of this one, Night Porter, which was a very important movie for me, and Daniel make it happen so we can share the rights with Weltkino, who were the original right holders. We wrote them and told them, you want to make a vanilla disc? only with the movie. Let's do a special edition with interviews because we have the context to the director. She was very, very cool. Eugenio Ercolani, which you had on your show.
Yeah.
He made the interviews for us in Italy. So thank you
Nice.
again, Eugenio. Grazie. And and yeah, this is something I'm really proud of. And even the artwork from Jill, you know, our artist
nice,
Jill
yeah.
Franks from Belgium. So I have to greet him. Gufadamme. So, which was, I guess, Flandern for goddamned. I don't know.
That works.
Yeah, this is something I'm proud. But the funny thing was, we couldn't use the original German artwork. We were not allowed to do it because Liliana Cavani, the director, said, no, I don't want her naked on the cover. I did it in the 70s, but that is not allowed anymore. So we told, okay, we put it in the bootleg.
Nice.
So, yeah. Sorry. And we don't get monetized anymore. You should censor this shit.
I might have to.
The second one I'm very proud of is the Black Cinema Collection.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for mentioning this, because I think there's a volume 2 about to come out, right?
Oh, you got it. You got it. Just released right now here, volume 2 with Cotton Comes to Harlem and many more.
Yes.
Wow. And yeah, I'm very proud of it because in Germany, all these black cinema movies, I don't call them blaxploitation because I hate the term blaxploitation because nobody was exploited at that moment.
Right.
They get paid. Or I guess exploitation is what they do now with YouTubers. So, but it's awesome to see the history which was founded, like with movies like Cotton Comes from Harlem, goes over to In the Heat of the Night, where Sidney Poitier is slapping back a white person, which is awesome in film history. And then you see the evolution of all those movies, and it's so cool to see it now. Like 50 years later, you recognize, oh my God, the movies are so important for film history.
Yeah. I'm so glad you shared that. I shared, oh gosh, it was probably about 3 weeks ago. I shared that was coming out, and I had so many people like, can I still get volume 1? Where is this? I want this. And I'm just glad that those are out there and accessible for people, because it is important to shine a light on that too.
Yeah, it's you can order it on Wikivision. If you search for it, write us, we can manage something that you get it.
Nice.
And for all the people who don't like to have slaughter in a Scanavo case, because these are Scanavo cases, they are not the normal Blu-ray cases. We don't have Blu-rays, so
good.
If you don't like slaughter in this edition, we have a solution. You can buy slaughter in a media book also, if you want.
Nice. Very nice.
But yeah, and the last one I'm very proud of, because that is for me personally history, was The Man Who Loves.
Great film.
We did a complete reconstruction of the German version, which was lost since 1939.
Wow.
So we managed to get the original text, which was written in German. The history behind this is obviously Conrad Veidt is in this movie. Yeah. And Conrad Veidt was on the shit list of Goebbels in Germany from the Nazis. So everything what was with him, obviously, in Man Who Loves was one of them, was destroyed.
Jeez.
And we had the chance to reconstruct it for the first time, as close to as it was in the cinema. Obviously with the American master and not with the European, because silent movies always had different versions.
Of course.
So because of the print, you know the history behind it, because they shot the movies with 2 or 3 cameras, and the roads that are not so good goes over to Europe, and the best one were staying in the US. And because Universal did an awesome job with the 4K restoration, we used this one and made the German subtitle. No, it's not subtitles, it's text titles, which were in German and based on the American version. And we found the text, the original text, which was used in the 1929 version here in German cinemas, because of a collector who had it in his cellar.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So, how did you find out that they had it? Were you in contact with this
Oh,
person, or?
I called everything here in Germany from Bundesarchiv, which is an archive from Germany, where they have all the prints and posters and stuff, which obviously some of the stuff get archived here in Germany.
Right.
And yeah, nobody has anything, but the woman who's working there told me, Laurent, I have your mobile phone number. I look what I can do. I will call you. 10 minutes later, she called me and said, yeah, I found somebody who has something in his cellar, and I send it to you.
Wow.
And then we had the original censor cards, which is called censor cards, which had the text and also the information which part of the film roll should be cut.
Wow.
So obviously the movie was censored in Germany because of nudity. So back then we had the same laws as America. Violence was okay, but nudity not. So yeah. So for the first time, uncut in German. Yeah.
That is incredible. That is an amazing story. I'm so glad you shared that. That film, first of all, for anybody that hasn't seen it, seek it out. Obviously, if you are in Germany, get this Wicked version. But in the U.S., the definitive releases from Flickr Alley, they do a great job on these older releases, and it looks immaculate. That 4K restoration is genuinely incredible.
It's awesome, and for the reason for me was I always wanted to see where's the history of Joker from Batman coming from.
Yep.
And this is the movie you have to see when you want to know where the Joker is coming from. So obviously we had to release it with Wicked Vision.
That's awesome. Gosh.
And by the way, we did it, the restoration, the reconstruction, we did it here by ourselves on our home computers. We had no company who helped us or anything.
That is legendary, and that is a testament for, a lot of people question how much can I do myself, really, and obviously you can
do if you want to. There's always a way.
You guys are discovering that all the time. It seems like that is amazing to hear, man.
Yeah, like we got also great fans and good help, because we got help from somebody in the US who also a YouTube channel. I apologize, I don't know the name, because Daniel did the product management for Stick, but he had the lost tape from the director's cut of Stick, which was only aired once in BBC in the 80s.
Oh, geez.
And was also lost media, and this guy had the tape, and we released it. We wrote him, and he said to us, oh, of course, I sent it to you. So I think Stick from us, I have to look something completely damned wrong. It's it has Gator McCluskey is the guy, and he provided us the director's cut for Stick. So this is the only version where you have both versions on a Blu-ray.
Jeez, that's fantastic. And that's the crazy thing about physical media is, a lot of people, obviously we're all collectors that are watching this most likely, but the fact that we're holding on to this stuff, eventually some of this could be lost media, and there are literally probably thousands of people in the world that have something that is incredibly rare, and they just plain don't know. A lot of the restorations that we're seeing, they are found in somebody's closet or their cellar, or it's the last version of something, because especially in you just brought up BBC. They are known. They were like one of the worst offenders for just filming over what they used to have and erasing it forever.
Yeah.
So
even German companies, like we have Radio Television Luxembourg, RTL, and oh man, they don't archive anything. You ask them, do you have this dubbing from the television you aired in the 1990s? And they say, hey, come on, dude, we don't have anything from 1990. What are you thinking?
It's so sad. I mean, there's so much that we won't even know what we've lost eventually. It's crazy.
Yeah, and lost media is a really hot topic, which is something that we always want to fight against it. We want to archive everything that was out there. So this is something that we want to achieve with our releases, to find everything that's out there, and we appreciate every help that we can get from fans. Without fans, we don't have the chance to make such great,
Right.
obviously, releases.
It's a good point. And a lot of the companies that are doing these wonderful releases throughout the world, one of their main missions is archival. And the way that we are saving these things is super important for future generations. Their stuff, I mean, even just the story behind The Man Who Laughs, it is more timely than ever to discuss why it was lost, to discuss why the original was gone. And nowadays, I mean, that can be something that shines a light on the totality of censorship. It is an act of protest art just to put that film out uncut, because it shouldn't have ever existed, because somebody tried to rid the planet of it.
And you see, this shit isn't made up. It's a topic which is to this day happening. If you look to Star Wars, or if you look at all the Disney stuff which they do on Disney Plus, and the original they had on VHS or DVD. And they are starting all of those changes. And I guess if you don't work against it, you wouldn't have the chance in 10 or 5 years to see them ever again in the original version as they were mentioned to be seen, you know?
Exactly. You bring up a good point. There's a lot of these, especially it's happened with TV a lot in the US, as some of the shows they've had something where a creator changes their mind. Oh, maybe that was offensive and now I want it gone. And just like that, it's gone from streaming. But if they had previously released it on home video, people across the country, they still have that version in the way that it was aired. So yeah, it's important to support that sort of thing. And if you want the uncensored version, you can't rely on streaming necessarily at all.
Yeah. Because in streaming, you don't have the chance to you have to get what they get. You have to take it or leave it. That's the system from video on demand systems like streaming. But in those cases with the releases, I think it's always good and great to see, like, for example, the Zack Snyder Justice League or the Joss Whedon's Justice League.
Right.
It's so cool to have both releases on Blu-ray so you can check them out. Which one is cooler, or which was mentioned, which is both the same stuff. I think it's awesome to have this chance. And if they only would do it on streaming, all right, okay, you can see it for 10 years. Then HBO Max says, okay, we're going down. We don't have enough users who are watching us. And the movie is gone.
Warner Brothers is the perfect one to talk about right now, because they are just pulling stuff left and right. And it's dangerous. I mean, there's certain things that if we lose it, it can affect a lot of, political references. It can affect societal references. But beyond that, the hard thing that they never really acknowledge is that for some of these releases, they are the life's work of some of these people. So somebody literally, we were just talking about Combat Shock when Buddy Giovinazzo put that out originally. He wasn't able to do like big budget films or anything like that. We were discussing this beforehand, how he filmed in his backyard, and when you lead up to that, that is taking the snapshot of somebody's life that he put all of his saved money into, and if somehow that was just immediately pulled from the planet, you're invalidating his existence up to that point. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy completely. I think also, I don't know. I guess it's also very important. By the way, Warner, if you're watching this, call me. I can tell you how we do it. We make the disc for you. You have to do nothing and you earn money. What's wrong about that?
I really wish they would open up the doors, because that Nice Guys I just showed, that big one, they only allow for the repackaging of the discs there as well. And I can't imagine if they let them do special features, people would pay a lot of money for some of those, maybe.
Oh yeah. Think about it. If you would do a media book with Gremlins, not a repack which is coming out here in Germany, but a real media book with new extras, with the actors who can tell 40 years later how they think about it, that the movie doesn't make any sense because they're getting water all the time because they're running through the snow, right? But I think that would be awesome, But as I mentioned, what I want to tell you before was the movie Wolfen. You know the movie Wolfen?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And in Germany, there's no release of this movie, and this sucks because I think for film historians, it's completely important, because the movie came out before Predator and has so much Predator in the movie.
Yeah.
same guy who made the music. I think it's James Horner. The music style is completely the same. You have the visual styles from the Wolves, like the Predator. I mean, come on, you got to get it out here.
It's rewriting history, basically.
Yeah.
That's man. I love discussions like this because so many people don't acknowledge the censorship that's still out there, and it's so much more than you think. There's so many even little things, and it's not even necessarily like deleting an entire show from a streaming service, but even a few seconds of a scene because it was done a certain way can totally change the context of the show and what the original creators meant. And a lot of people, they'll just never notice it because now that's just how it is. That's how it exists in my streaming service.
We have a good example for this here in Germany, but this was never released. It was only in the cinemas in the 50s. Casablanca, the original Casablanca, it came out 10 years later in Germany, obviously because the Germans were the bad guys in the movie. And after Germany was taken over from the Americans and Russians in the 50s, and it was a divided land, they thought, okay, we can bring it up in the cinema, but we have to change a lot. So all the Nazis were cut out, and Ingrid Bergman and the other guy who were refugees, they don't run away from Nazis now. They were physicians who had the code for a bomb, So they changed the complete plot. And this is only for you have to imagine this was 20 years in the cinema. Right. And in the 70s, a German television company called ZDF, I guess, they thought, well, let's bring the original out with a new dubbing, a new version, how the film was meant to be. And so this is a curiosum which is floating around here in Germany because some cinemas show the original cinema copy with the old version with the physicians. So this is a rarity, I guess, which should be also on a Blu-ray for film historians, because it is, as I mentioned, this is history. This was done of purpose because of the Third Reich,
Crazy. Yeah, that would be great to see on a release here in the US, but I'm sure that'll never happen.
Will never happen because Warner.
It always ends to Warner. So you talked about going to the cinema a lot with your mom every Sunday. I'm curious, what are some of your earliest movie memories? Like, what are the ones that were really solid for you in your childhood?
Jungle Book, because it was the first movie I slept. Seriously, I never seen Jungle Book. I was in the cinema, but after 5 minutes, I guess I was too tired. It was late. It was late. I was working. I was 3 years old. You know how hard life is.
Oh yeah.
But the greatest memories I have is Ninja Turtle 3, because for me as a kid, and now you see my eyes are going up. They were the real thing, It was not animatic. It was the real turtles. You can touch them, and they were real. So this was amazing for me. Obviously, Super Mario Brothers, the movie. I know it sounds weird, right? But guys, I have a Mortal Kombat poster in the back, so don't ask anything.
No, it's perfect. It's honestly, it's a really fun movie, even now.
Yeah. Even so, this one is awesome. Yeah, I guess these are all the movies I grew up with, because I have a 5-year-old older brother, and when he wanted to go to the cinema, and my father wasn't at home at that time because he was working, I don't know the English term for that, but he was a lot traveling around the world, and he wasn't often there. So my mother had to go to the cinema with my brother, and I had to go with them. So I saw stuff which wasn't for my age, but it's okay because I was there, and
now you're an expert in it.
Now I'm an expert, or you can say a freak, or a mentally disordered person who watch too much stuff. But that grew my passion for movies, and also I'm a huge comic and video game fan, and all combined brought me always back to movies, because some of the comics were inspired by movies.
Yeah.
Obviously, as I mentioned before, Man Who Laughs and Joker, and also video games are inspired by movies. Let's take Mortal Kombat. It's Bloodsport.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So I guess these are all the memories I have. And now with Wicked Vision, I have the glad opportunity because I was working at the video rental stores when they were dying. So I had the fortune to work there for 1 year before they were closing.
Nice.
And so I'm completely into this VHS and DVD era. And with Wicked Vision, I can now relive, do a second life with those movies, you know.
That's
which
great.
I appreciated as a kid, and I rented often. Now we can release them, like Highway to Hell, which was a movie I loved.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's a very fun movie.
It has a fun cast. I mean, the cast in the movie is awesome. Ben Stiller is in it. Who had no?
You brought up the Secret Movie Club, and I'm obviously not a part of it, but I gotta ask, like, what are some of the best films that you got to see on 35mm there?
Oh, the rule of the secret. This is the Secret Movie Club by Omega.
Nice.
But now here, this logo, I guess, is it says everything. But one of the rules of the club is you can't mention the movies that you saw. But I can break the rules in some kind of way and tell you which movie it is, and you can guess which movie it is.
Sure.
So, wow, which was one of the best movies I saw? Well, there's a guy. He runs all the time, half naked, through the jungle, lost his photo device, and gets really mad and binds a red thing about his head and shooting wildly. And doing a hot barbecue party in Vietnam. I guess you know which movie I meant.
Oh man, that is the best description of that I've ever heard. And now I'm gonna make people just guess in the comments based on hearing that. Give it the most ridiculous movie that's obviously not that, but maybe close and can fit it somehow.
Oh,
I'm not going to say the title so people can guess wrong.
Please type Andy Sedaris movies, obviously.
I love Andy Sedaris.
Me too.
He's so fun.
Hard Ticket to Hawaii. I mean, it's so realistic. I don't want to play frisbee in the park. Nope.
We I have a Patreon for this channel, and I've got a friend that he lives in St. Louis. I live in Kansas City, Missouri, so he lives about 3 hours away, and he's actually driven over, and we got to hang out a couple times. He was on the Patreon. We were discussing on our Discord one day, and somebody mentioned Andy Sedaris and how Hard Ticket to Hawaii is legendary, and it's legitimately like a masterpiece. And he had never heard of Hard Ticket to Hawaii or Andy Sedaris at all. And so he said, you know what, because of what you're saying, I'm going to buy it. And he was commenting along as he was watching it. And it was the best experience to see somebody like, what am I watching? Oh my God, this is amazing. I forgot there was a snake. That was incredible. It was such a great reaction to a movie.
Yeah, the Andy Sedaris movies are something, I guess, when you see them, it's an experience. It's like a roller coaster ride, you know? If you see Seven, awesome. William Smith in his best role ever. Believe me, it's better than playing Conan's father. You know, this is shit. You have to watch Andy Sedaris movies more, of course, obviously. When I was studying, I had the chance to do some radio stuff, and I chose with a good friend of mine to make a radio show called Thrash Frequency. Some stuff is obviously on YouTube with interviews with all the conventions we did with stars for this radio show. But our goal was to show the world the shittiest VHS movies out there, which are only on VHS. And Andy Sedaris, he was one of them a long time. Now you can get the Blu-rays, but a long time it was VHS only.
That's true. And surprisingly, the Blu-rays look incredible. Like, they did a really good job with them. Andy Sedaris does a really nice introduction on most of them. And they treated them with a lot of respect. And I'm really happy they did that.
Oh, yeah, me too. I was happy I did with Tour by Media. This was my only product I made there because I was only 1 year there. But I had the chance to make the Kill Squad media book.
Nice.
Which is a really shitty movie and has a really shitty dubbing in German, which makes it so funny because in German they say stuff they didn't say in the English version, obviously because it was a shitty movie. But we had the chance to make a huge release with all the extras, making of those shitty movies, which you wouldn't get on streaming or elsewhere. But
Right.
I guess this is something, as you mentioned, the Andy Sedaris Blu-ray is looking really good. It's funny that these directors have the 35 millimeters at their home in their garage, like they
Yep.
were waiting for us to say, "Oh, come on, please bring it out." And I think the same happened with Andy Sedaris. Maybe he had all this, he had a pile of shame in his garage, and when a label like us came, he said, "Oh yeah, do it."
Why not? That's amazing. Last thing before we went live, we were talking, and you said you may have some questions for me. So I think it might be fun for the viewers. Anything that you want, shoot. Anything that might be different as far as the territories go. Anything for the films. Anything about me. Anything about the channel. Shoot. I'm an open
Shoot is
book.
an English term for asking, right? Not that I
Yes,
get my
sir.
rifle here.
No,
So, okay.
you're not in the U.S., so it's probably a lot less accessible.
Yeah, you're right. We don't have weapons here in Germany. Oh, man, we're boring. But but yeah, I'm obvious. I'm very curious. How did it come that you recognize media books from Germany and even a label like Wicked Vision? This is something for us very. Yeah, I'm curious.
The important thing for me is community. I've got a lot of friends that are collectors that I only know online. I've met a handful of these friends in person over the last year, primarily, which has been great. But there's still like 50 more that I would love to meet in person that I've known through Facebook groups or seeing, people posting boutique Blu-rays from Germany on Reddit. They will post in that subreddit or the name Wicked Vision isn't uncommon. It's something that you hear because they also released the film. And when you see that Germany has a release of it, and oh look, it's region free, maybe I can get it. It's something that people start to seek out. So I did start to find out. Can I go to Germany eBay and find somebody who's selling it for cheap, or German Amazon? Maybe they have something in stock that I can get for not a terrible amount shipped, still more than I'd love to pay, but not terrible. And then eventually it just started like catching on. People around were sharing pictures. Oh my God, what is that art piece? I've never seen that. And then people were posting on these groups more and more and more. And now, like I even run a media book group on Facebook of people that can go on there to share news, pickups that they got, buy, sell, trade with other collectors, and just get the word out, because a lot of people would love these if they knew that they existed. So I've been collecting for years, and it just happened to be a natural step in the chain to discover it.
Wow, you can't imagine how happy I am really now, because seriously, because Daniel and I, and Patrick also, we always discuss here, because you have to imagine that we are in a very little shitty town here in Germany. And we have only this bubble, so we don't come out anywhere.
Right.
And we don't recognize if the people in the US would recognize us anyway. So I asked some YouTubers and sent them stuff, but until now there was nothing where they mentioned us or make a commercial stuff. So I was wondering, okay, maybe they don't want us, they don't see us, they don't get us. But now to hear this from you makes me so happy, because wow, dude, we got under the radar and we got to you guys, which we appreciate the most, because you are the persons these media books are made for.
Right.
So the real fans, the real deal. So
I really hope more people take the time to look into them, because they are genuinely, and a lot of people would hear this and scoff at it, but I mean it. These are a work of art. Not only did an artist literally create the art on the front, but to put the amount of time and care that goes into these, that, let's see, is there anything I can't show? No, everything's good. They're such great releases, and genuinely, like, this is a really good movie. I love this movie. And so to get a nice release of this, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it might have been like the first good Blu-ray release of this film in the world, if I remember right.
I guess Vinegar Syndrome has it now released
Since then, yes.
But we were the first,
Yeah, so it was a movie that I was genuinely looking for. So when it got announced, it was like, oh my gosh, no way! I have to have this release. So I sought it out. I needed it in my collection so I could watch it. And then now it's a little more accessible because Vinegar Syndrome put it out in the U.S. But it's genuinely a work of art. And so if you're interested in any way, please take the time to find them. They are beyond worth it. And to support a small company like Wicked Vision and make their day when they find out that a collector in the middle of New Jersey in the U.S. is discovering your work for the first time, that's got to feel great for you.
It's awesome. It's awesome. And we also like to have, if you want to write us, you can always write me an email. It's Laurent at W. It's W in English, right?
Yes.
V? Okay, W. W V. Then a line. I don't know the term of the line.
Dash.
Wow.
Yes.
In German, it's Strich. It's Strich dash. Dash is cooler. So Laurent at wv-media.com or .de, and I get the mail, and you can write me. And I'm always fine to write with you people, guys, and to notice that you appreciate those, and also for if you have ideas or something we can make better or changes. Always good to get critics. It's always.
I just thought of one more question. I've asked somebody in the U.S. if they would put these out, and one of the things they said is they think that they're susceptible to damage. Do you guys hear that, like, the corners and stuff are getting beat up very often when you're sending them out?
We had problems with when we get them from the company who made them. Sometimes they are, there's a scratch over here or something.
Right.
But this is most of them we can put aside and don't sell them, or sell them as B-ware,
Right.
like B stuff. So they are cheaper. If the people only want to look the movie, they can get it for 10 euros, example. But we always make sure when we send these packages that you get a huge package which is so safe you can't get any damage. Because the reason why we do it is we would get fucking angry if I get a package where my movie is damaged.
Yep.
Because on the way from post service, So I don't want that, and I don't want that you have that. So we make sure that this package is safe, and you can get a lot of stuff when you buy via us. So I don't know if you know that, but if you buy in our store, you get stickers from Canon Video, which is obviously a hint to, we worked in the video store. Or if you need something for your beer, to put your beer on, you get some Simba stuff with Canon. And also, which we appreciate much more nowadays, is that we have the artworks. We have cards, and they are always. Do I have some? No, I think. Oh, yeah, I have some. They are signed by the artist himself.
Oh wow, that's really neat.
So you get your number and your name mentioned by the artist.
Wow.
And then you have a personalized autograph.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And that's, you can tell through all of that Wicked Vision is for collectors, but by collectors, like with that collecting in mind, and somebody that's going to treat it with genuine respect. I love that.
Yeah, of course. And I can tell you, if you buy stuff from us, we are no company who's taking the money and say, now I got the money, That doesn't happen. It's always the same thing. We get the money, and 5 seconds later is, oh, great, let's buy this license and let's go over there. So we are not rich. We make something wrong, I guess, but that's the case. I think we are nerds and still die as nerds.
Nothing wrong with that, and that's kind of a popular thing nowadays.
I think it's popular but it's funny. I think it's popular because of series like Big Bang Theory. Like the guys from Big Bang Theory, they are all recognized as, oh wow, they are so cool. They are such nerds. Let me tell you something. When I was 15 and I wore a Punisher t-shirt at school, I was beaten up. I wasn't good.
Thankfully, most people in the U.S. still make fun of the Big Bang Theory because it wasn't that great.
Yeah. It isn't great, right? It's a fake. I don't know how to explain it. It's like Stranger Things too. I think it's a
It's
fake.
like exploitation a little bit.
Yeah, there you got it. You should call this exploitation and not blaxploitation exploitation, you know?
With blaxploitation, I feel like it was only called exploitation because they were exploiting the moviegoers. They were getting money out of the people, and they would watch pretty much anything.
I know, but basically that's right, you know. And they made it on a level where you can say, okay, now they're going too far. If you know the zombie movies and Dracula and everything, like, oh, okay, this is what Disney does today, I guess.
That's a good point. That's a damn good point, especially because they own everything, so they can make a different version of anything that they want, basically.
Yeah, they make a horror movie which came out on Halloween and has a Swamp Thing in it. Is it the Swamp Thing? I guess no. The Swamp Thing is DC.
Yes.
It's damn, I don't know. Manhunt? No. I Man Thing was it?
Man Thing. All right. Any other questions that might satisfy your curiosities?
Oh yeah, what is that is a mean question. You know, when somebody asks me this question, I hated it, but I can tell you my most favorite movie is Casablanca. Don't ask, it is so. I have no reason. But what is your most favorite movie, that all-time favorite movie, which you can watch again and again and again and again?
I hate this question too, because
you see, it's a question somebody hate. I have to ask them.
It can change by the day. I think for the longest time, it was Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I loved John Hughes growing up. I thought it was a fun movie. Over the last 5 or 6 years, I've really loved Green Room. Have you seen that one yet?
Yeah, I've seen that.
I love that movie.
Awesome.
And maybe the biggest one, and I've kind of discovered this a little more lately. I've got a 7-year-old kid, and so he's finally at the age where I can start sharing the stuff I loved that is almost on the inappropriate side, like the one I'm about to say. It's got a lot of language, more than I remembered. But I, like, over the last month, have fallen in love again with Back to the Future. That movie is so fantastical in a way that just speaks to a young kid, and yet it was made to fit like every taste, and it's timeless. And that's kind of a joke based on the movie, but I mean, it's such a great series, and all three are damn near perfect films.
Oh yeah. They had a huge impact on us too, because Daniel, my boss, he's a huge Back to the Future fan.
Nice.
It has one of the biggest impacts on him, and Ghostbusters, obviously.
Ghostbusters is perfect.
But yeah, awesome. You said you had a 7-year-old child. Do you want to show him more movies? When do you start to show him Street Fighter with Van Damme?
What's funny, I did, like I mentioned, I have a Patreon, and I give them some exclusive videos sometimes. And just recently, I did an interview with my wife. Some people wanted to ask her some questions, and one of the questions was, what do you think is going to be the first R-rated film that you show your kid? And when do you think will be the good time for that? And it sparked like this interesting discussion, because I think mine was Halloween, and I was 8 years old. And I mean, he turns 8 in 2 months. So are we getting close? But, you know, it's a tough question, because there's so much that has changed. And with the way that the internet is there, people have access to a lot of things a lot younger. So it's kind of a dicey thing to even start to discuss, because they may have seen way worse things, and you're like, you can't watch Halloween because they show boobs for 3 seconds, so you can't possibly see that. But I don't know. It's a tough question to break through there.
Yeah, of course. But I can I have an advice for you.
Sure.
A really good advice, because as you know from my name, I'm half Belgium, half German. So in Belgium we have another rating system. The highest is 16, and all the horror movies are at 12. So they were shown at a time where you shouldn't watch The Thing, you know, when it's 7 p.m. It's not a normal time to show The Thing. In Belgium, It is normal. So my own experience was, and I had a great-grandfather in Belgium, a really great grandfather, but I was 4 years old, and he wanted to show me some Halloween movies. And we watched The Thing, which was obviously wrong. And it stuck in the back of my head, and I was so scared of everything. And my mother came in and obviously saw the television where the dog's exploding, like there's a thing coming out of the dogs. She looked at my grandfather and said, "Do you know that you have a child next to you? Should I explain you that he shouldn't see this?" And my grandfather said the golden words, "Well, it's his decision. He doesn't have to see it. He can stand up and go."
Yeah, it's all about consent with everything. To a point, I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, I too. So, but yeah, I want to be. I'm a tough guy. I can see this. And we went every year to Belgium on Halloween, and the next year he topped it. He showed me the fly.
Yes.
And then I was through body horror. I don't have any passion with horror movies anymore. I was like, oh, come on, dude, go away. Let me see those movies where barbecue parties in Vietnam were made.
All right, on barbecue parties, I think that is a perfect note to end on. And I just humbly want to say thank you. I know that this it sounded like this is not a common occurrence for you to speak to many people from the US on a video like this.
It's a weird pleasure, and thank you so much. And thank you for that you had the time to share this with me in all your history, my history, and my bad English. And I'm so thankful for everything.
In the future, when there's big releases coming out from Wicked Vision, I would be thrilled if you would want to come back on and highlight them, maybe show them off, anything that you want to do to share your company's passion with the entire world, because it's amazing.
Anytime. You have my number. You can call me up anytime you want. My casa, su casa. If you want to come to Germany, let me know. We have a place here to stay.
Dying to come to Germany, genuinely.
If you want to come, you have a place here to stay, and then we can watch stuff together, like Back to the Future.
Back to the Future and Vietnam barbecues.
Oh, of course. But I have to mention vegan. But if it's not a problem for you,
no, we're good. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Please check out Wicked Vision. All of the links for their company, for some of their amazing releases, will be in the description below. I will be trying to fill your minds with this because it is important. It is good work, and it's art that should be shared. So again, thank you for your time, and hopefully we'll talk soon.
What?
Hopefully we'll talk soon.
What? No, I'm kidding. And I just want to say thank you so much, Ryan. Thank everyone out there who's supporting us. And I can't say thank you enough for all this. And you made dreams come true, and we hope we make your dreams come true. And Ryan, I have so much fun with you. We should talk more.